Here we go. Welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I am Candice Thompson. To my new listeners, thank you for joining. The podcast is about, it used to be about, I would have my friends on and we would laugh about something they're struggling with. But since the world is ending, we try to keep it light and just talk about topical things and just riff and make you laugh. So, to my fans that have come back, all four of you that have come back time and time again, thank you for doing that. Really appreciate you. If you have not subscribed to The Struggle, make sure you do that. We're on all podcast platforms. Posting on my personal YouTube channel now as well, so subscribe there. Rate and review us on iTunes. And last but not least, if you haven't told somebody about The Struggle, make sure you do that. Tell somebody. Now I'm going to introduce my co-host, Mal Hall.
Oh, hey everybody, I'm back. And so is my mustache. I shaved it in yesterday, and I'm pretty happy about that decision.
Was it
I,
not here the last time you did the show?
I had a full beard.
That just came in a week?
This can't, huh?
I'm confused. You had the mustache the last time you were on the show last week.
Technically, yeah, but it was connected to a full
To
beard.
the beard. That's what's
Yeah,
different. Okay.
yeah. So I got rid of the beard, so now I just have a mustache.
Sorry, okay. There's a little facial hair confusion. Sorry, guys. Continue.
Website, malhall.com, social media at malhall, YouTube, malhall TV. Candice, who's our guest?
Oh, man. I only had to pay him $500 to do it because he did it the first time and was so spectacular that I was like, let's have this man back. Ian Edwards, everybody, the hilarious Ian Edwards, who looks so excited to be here.
If you're listening, he just gave us the bird.
Oh yeah, I forgot it's a podcast. Fuck y'all.
There you go. There was audio for those of you who couldn't,
For everybody that didn't see the finger, fuck y'all.
couldn't hear the finger flicking.
Yeah.
Ian, where can
Wait, you
everybody
say
find
flip? It's flip.
So what?
And I didn't mean like I just meant the motion of flicking the finger up. I didn't mean yeah. But Ian, where can everyone find you? Never mind, everybody.
Really, in my bunker, but nobody's invited. In my doomsday bunker.
Yeah,
But
the last time
isn't that where everybody should be found?
for sure. That the last time you did the show, you talked about wanting like a little mobile home and living off the grid.
I want that even more now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who knew things would get so much worse?
I mean, apparently I subconsciously did, because that's where this thing is. That's why this thing is headed. I manifested the end of America.
It's not just the end of America; it's the world. It's the world. The whole
Yeah,
world
because if America goes to war, right? Like we have so many dealings with other countries. Like we give like not aid packages, but money to Pakistan and India and all those different countries for different things to stay in line with us. And if we're at war, right, and we can't give that money because we're in a civil war, all of the rest of it's a domino effect. So the people who are fighting over this election and creating news stories, anybody that's being false on either side, you are engineering the collapse of the world. There is no profit to be made from this.
Right.
Like
we were already collapsing.
You will pay just as much as anybody else. So good luck. Good luck, guys. So yeah, I'm on Instagram at Ian Edwards Comment.
That being said, maybe Ian should run for president. I mean, you guys have both of you received my text messages where I'm like, this is just not going to end. I send you guys things regularly. I'm like, this is not.
I met somebody worse than you.
Worse than me?
Yeah, like they were going, and it's like they've been on the deep dark web,
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they're
I haven't
talking
gone on the
about
dark
so,
web yet.
so that's why they're more hardcore than you, because they go on the deep dark web and they see shit that you haven't seen. Oh, it's a lot of the same shit, but they're just
More videos
so
of it.
new. They're so new to it. Oh, and she said she saw the video from Wiener's laptop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You saw the video?
The
What was
one
the
that
video?
I saw, which I thought was the one that I sent. I don't know. Maybe it was, apparently there was I think 2 different ones, because my friend had watched one that was from Wiener's laptop that she watched was different than the one that she saw had Hillary, and the one I saw had John Podesta. And you
didn't
really
see John Podesta. You didn't
No,
see
you couldn't
John
really
Podesta.
see, but you could hear.
Exactly.
No, but you could hear a kid screaming, and
Right.
you could hear his voice, and that voice was spot on. And I'm not saying that, of course, that
I
can't
also
be
watched
manufactured.
Gladiator.
You
and it was so real it won an Oscar.
You laughing, but you're saying the chick that you know went and saw the actual footage on the dark web.
Yeah, she said she saw it, but
So what are we
I
talking
gotta
about?
see it. I said
Well,
I
then
gotta
go on
see
the
it.
dark web. I actually was about to go on the dark web.
And it better not be shadows. It better be actual people doing what they say they did. It can't be
lit.
Ian's like, if these kids are dying, I want to see it.
I mean, if they died, right? I didn't do it. But if there's clear evidence, if you want me to be on your side, I need the clear evidence.
No, I know, and I understand.
Conveniently, like this is from and how many laptops are people misplacing out there?
Yeah.
How rich are people? Like this is my laptop. Like my bedroom at night, just in case there's a fire. Because I think about like at night, if there's a fire and I need to get out the house, this is more important to me to get out the house than the car. Like everybody's information is on their phone. Who's just willy-nilly in laptops?
Well, I believe
I've never misplaced a laptop.
Never. Never.
Fucking what?
In Hunter Biden's defense, he smokes crack. So I could see a crackhead losing a laptop.
But he didn't even like pawn it for money.
No, he left it somewhere. He left it somewhere. He left it at the Genius Bar.
But did he drop it off? Like
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of details that I'm not sure about. And
I'm sorry, y'all. I just need proof. Ever you give me proof,
I agree.
I'm on board.
I agree. But all I know is I agree. I actually tried to go on the dark web, but then I saw I looked up how to do it, and I was like, this is already too complicated. Like, I was like, I got to get a hacker to help me now because I don't know what this is.
Yeah. So Candice is for sure on a list now.
I would.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm on numerous lists.
Google how to get on dark web. Yeah, let's flag this girl right here.
I'm on numerous lists by now. They be watching us and listening to us. The searches that I have on my smart TV right now, you came and saw the YouTube searches, you'd be like, Candice, are you okay?
I would only use a burner computer. For
the dark web?
Nothing that I've ever logged into my bank account on or use a credit card on.
Yeah. I question the safety of it. I would search the dark web just on my laptop that I would just lose accidentally.
That's $1 million.
Yeah, if you go on the dark web, you're gonna accidentally lose your laptop.
You're gonna have to. It's the rules.
It's the rules.
That's $1 million business right there. Burner laptops.
Just toss them out.
That's for the dark web.
Just driving down the highway, just toss it out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
I do know that yes, I need proof to actually believe these things 100%. But what I'm saying is that my gut is telling me that this shit is real, whether or not there is actual evidence. But Trump's lawyer, one of his lawyers, Lynn Wood, actually just put out. I don't know if this was a video. I just heard audio of it, but he basically said at the end of it that a lot of shit's going to get revealed and there's a lot of pedophilia that's happening that we need to be aware of. He said that at the end of and that's literally what was on the tape that they're saying.
Right. Yeah. All right. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting back and eating popcorn because this whole thing has been very, very entertaining until the race war breaks out. That's when I'm gonna have to break down and get a gun. That's when I'll put the popcorn down and be like, okay, where is my musket?
It's gonna be an eclectic war.
Yeah, it's gonna be fought on different battlefields.
Yeah, all the groups that are gonna be fighting. There's gonna be like pro versus anti COVID groups fighting, black versus white,
I'm pro COVID,
Republican liberals versus
black dark black versus light black.
Don't forget about transgenders.
Different type transgender versus not people against it. Like different types of white people versus different types of white people, like all the
dusty
different
whites versus
dusty whites versus the shiny whites.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Well, I keep trying to tell people to just emotionally be prepared. I've told both of you, like, and you know, I sent you the thing. I was like, I do not trust what is happening right now. I think they are setting us up for a race war. The media keeps saying Biden won. The media keeps saying he's president-elect, but I'm like, no government, no actual official, like organization.
They always do that.
Announced that, yeah, for sure. But now it's different.
But at this stage, at this stage last year, they said Trump won, but the states hadn't, like, you know what I mean?
Certified
but you just know, so
election. Exactly.
Certified the thing. So nothing different is happening than happened before. You know?
The only thing that's different is that Trump is not. Most of the time, the sitting president that gets voted out will just concede early, like when they go, okay, it looks like that dude is gonna win. Let me just concede like a gentleman. This dude is just being defiant of that, and saying wild shit though. He's saying wild shit though, like the election should be decided the day of the election, which it's like
that's impossible.
It's never happened that way.
Yeah, it's impossible
because he was winning then. No, well, it has been decided the day of the election, but he's saying that because I think he means up until the point he was leading.
Yeah.
Well, because it was suspicious when they shut everything down. That's all of a sudden that's when Biden took over. And like I said, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm paying attention to.
But did they shut everything down?
They did shut stuff down. I don't know about everything and every state, but they did shut down. And then all of a sudden, miraculously, Joe Biden was ahead in a lot of these states where Trump was leading. And there is, according to his lawyers, and I don't know, that there is actual voter fraud that's happening, and that's what they're taking to the courts right now.
Define shutdown. I don't understand shutdown.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that means either. I don't know, but I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it means either.
I think what it means, and it makes complete sense to me, that the polling places close at a certain time on election day. 8 p.m. We're closed. You can't vote in person. But they didn't start counting the mail-in votes until after they counted the in-person votes. So that's what people are saying, like, oh my God, all of a sudden Biden took the lead. It's like, well, yeah, we have this whole stack of fucking mail-in ballots that we have to start counting after we count the people that have voted here today.
Yeah.
So
logically, but just to be fair to both sides, like, why didn't they count the mail-in ballots before?
That they already
They're not allowed to.
They're not allowed to?
Yeah, they're not allowed to start counting them until election day.
Until election day. All right, so that's fine. And then also, where did they get the projection before election day that most of the ballots cast were Democratic if they hadn't counted them? So that's was somebody looking at them, or is this just an assumption?
I think it was an assumption that Democrats weren't going to go to the polls because of COVID, so they are all going to mail in their votes.
Right.
That's like the assumption.
Right.
But just
And
want
then
to point out
and then
that it's
Trump
the same
people were like, we're
Democrats.
going.
But it's the same Democrats that had no problem partying outside in massive hordes after Biden was elected. Or
it wasn't that massive.
no, they were. There was a lot of.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a lot of.
Because there was. I went to some to two, and you could keep your distance.
Yeah.
And celebrate, and people had on masks, and people had on masks. Like, I stayed a safe distance because I've been quarantining, not because I believe in COVID. I don't like people. So this is a great excuse for me to keep my distance from people. You know what I mean? So
stupid. No, my point is
I wouldn't break that just to celebrate. You know what I mean?
My point is, you're so concerned about not catching it by going to just vote, which you were in there for, I don't know, whatever amount of time, but like, you're outside in a line for a lot of it, then you go in and just vote, so you're in there for minutes. So like, if you're that concerned about it, you probably would be overly concerned about it to go be partying in the streets next to complete strangers, even if you have a mask on. That's all I'm saying.
Also, the people that were out partying are like the minority, though, if you think about it. And it's same on the Trump side. The people that buy flags and fucking wear merch all over the place, that's like the minority, of the Trump people, but those are the ones that we see and associate everyone with.
For sure.
So it's
and those are the ones that they show on both sides on the news.
For sure.
They never show
the like, they show
people.
because that sells.
Yeah.
Well, guys, down with the media. What have we learned so far? Down with the media.
Always down with the media.
For sure.
I mean, one thing Trump has always gotten right was fake news. But normally it's been fake towards a lot of things, but towards like the way the media has described minorities ever since the existence of the news.
Absolutely.
And now somebody's saying it. And it's funny how his side of people are believing it. But it's like, motherfuckers, you're the same ones that believe it when it comes to their description of us.
Yeah.
Where do you think they practice being fake?
Right. Been doing this for years. It's so true. Yeah. It's so true.
So I've decided to stop watching the news because it is depressing shit. Like my mom is. So I moved in with my mom, and my mom is like a very regimented person. So every single day, she watches the news. She watches ABC World News every day, and it's like when we moved in, we were watching it every day because it was around dinner time, and I was just like feeling like, fuck, man. Every time I go to sleep now, all I have is these pictures in my head of like, whoa, this whole family died. This whole family died. This fucking wild shit is happening, and it's like you get to choose, and it's been this way before COVID, but you get to choose like what you want to see and what you want to let affect your life, because the day-to-day, that shit doesn't really affect you unless you're watching it and letting it affect you. So I choose to just fucking make pies.
Everybody needs to be making pies. Everybody needs to be making pies.
Spend your time making American pies. That's how you be patriotic. Don't watch the news and make pies.
Yeah.
From now on, Mal only gets his bad news from me. Okay?
I get a direct. I'm subscribed. It goes right to my phone. It's not even an email I can put in a folder. It's fucking right here.
And it's one-sided.
Yeah, Mal, look at this shit.
You know that
Yeah, I just saw that. I can't unsee it. It's at all hours of the day too. It doesn't matter. I can't prepare at all. It just gets dropped on me.
Mal, you said you went before we started recording. You said you just come back from the beach.
Yeah, we went down to Malibu State Beach today. It's pretty nice. Took Kalino out there.
You're from San Diego, right near the beach. Why would you drive all the way and endure all this traffic?
Oh, well, I'm currently house sitting in Burbank right now.
Oh, just for the weekend. So I just thought you said all that stuff about your mom's house. And then the color of that room looks like a mother's house that you're in. So, how many houses does your mother have?
My mom has one house.
That stretches from San Diego to Burbank?
Yeah, it's a really big house. It's a lot of square footage.
That does look like a mom color. What is that? Mauve? Mauve? How do you pronounce that color?
It's some kind of pink.
Some kind of pink.
The real transgender color right there.
Yeah, this is really, this room takes all kinds. I mean, there's a whole family of llamas. This is a whole family of llamas.
Oh yeah, I've been fucking with those llamas ever since we started recording.
all different shades and backgrounds of llamas.
Are those llamas in the backyard of this house that your house sitting?
No, unfortunately.
But he does stay on a farm in San Diego, so he might have some llamas there.
There's livestock out where my mom lives.
Get out of here. She has animals?
No, but her neighbors do. The neighbors have horses, a whole pack of sheep, all kinds of exotic chickens. The neighbor across from us, they have chickens as well, so those roosters talk to each other at fucking the break of dawn every single day. Everybody has dogs and stuff. It's like, it's real dusty out there.
What do they do with the sheep? Do they shear them for their wool?
So they use the sheep. Milk? They use the sheep for fire preventative measures. So the sheep are like goats; they'll eat anything.
They'll eat anything.
So these people have large properties, so they get a little pack of sheep will just fucking graze your entire yard down to the bones. So you have to put a fence around shit that you definitely don't want eaten.
Don't want them to eat.
Otherwise, it's gone. Like, there was a shed here, right?
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Sheep's got it.
Somebody was just telling me, and I don't know if this was a real Shark Tank episode, but I think the way they presented
that was last week.
Yeah, who was that?
That was Paul.
Paul. Yeah, Paul a lot. Oh wait.
What did Paul lie about now?
Yeah, he said that on Shark Tank they had some guys come on trying to sell goats as lawnmowers.
Yeah. That's funny.
These are just goats. It's not invention. They're just goats. Just buy a goat.
Goats are available in all 50 states right now. What's to stop anyone from getting one of these goats?
Because people don't know where to get them. But now if you advertise them, they'll just get your goats. You can get insurance from anywhere, but Flo advertises and says, get mine.
Can I get one of those Shark Tank goats? Do you have the Shark Tank goats?
No?
Okay, I gotta find a Shark Tank goat.
Specific brand.
People like brands, That's pretty funny. He should do that. If that didn't happen for real, he should do that in his act.
Yeah, he has to. What's in that jug, Ian?
That's just the biggest goblet of green tea I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Is green tea?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm drinking my yerba mate. It's not green tea, but it's tea.
I'm drinking this.
I don't even.
Blue Moon tea.
You drinking?
That says Belgian waffle. That's how stressful the beach was. You got to drink alcohol.
I'm having this Belgian white tea is what I'm having right here.
Wait, so how did you...
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. How did you get back by 1:00? Like, the beach is a whole day. Like, you had to have gotten up at 3:00 in the morning, started packing.
Yeah. No, we just took the, it was actually a nice drive, the Malibu Canyon through, so we went from
Las Virgenes.
Yeah, from the beach, just straight through the canyon to the 101. So there was no traffic. But going to the beach, we took the 10 and went up PCH a little bit. I could not, those houses on PCH look amazing, but no matter how much money I had, you couldn't, like, why would you live there? There's no way in or out.
Yeah, no, that's a second home or a third home, because
why you say that?
That's gonna fall in the water. Like, to have those. No, seriously, when you see all these tsunamis and you see just like something, an earthquake, and then the next thing you know, your whole house is underwater. And so, that's for rich people that have other homes.
That's why I live here, like in Hollywood, because I'm waiting for tsunami, so the beach will be here. And I'll have beachfront property. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be rich.
This is
the value of my
property pending.
Like when the beach comes to like the beginning of Hollywood, I'm like 5 minutes from the beach.
It's like, and here's this beachfront bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. The beachfront 99-cent store, which is right.
Yeah.
Once the beach comes to you, you enjoy it for like 1 year, and then you sell high, baby. You sell high.
You sell high. There you go.
And then move east to other beachfront property pending.
Yeah.
Every time I see houses on like right by, like on the water, and also just in general on cliffs, I'm like, have you not heard of the mudslides? Like, have you not? Did they not? I just would never make an investment like that because I would be too terrified. It just happens too frequently out here, especially with all the fires.
Yeah.
It's just set up to slide down the side of a hill.
I would love to have that problem, though. That's a good problem to have.
It is. What are you about to say?
I went to Montecito, where they had that mudslide a few years ago.
There's so many. I don't know. I can't keep track.
I don't think there was that many, but there was this big one. You know, like, I think what happened is they'd had fires, and then the fires burnt up like all the trees and the roots and shit. Yeah. And then they had a heavy rain right after the fire.
Yep.
So
perfect storm.
Perfect storm, the whole thing. So then I went, and it was like these neighborhoods where, like say your block, Candice, like Mal Senior block. There'd be like 2 houses in full intact. Yeah. And the rest of them all mudslided. Like if you go in, the mud is hardened. So like it's just, it went through the whole house and they're destroyed. So I don't know what's better, having your house destroyed and you collect insurance, or being one of the 2 houses that didn't and you live on a ghost block. And you can't even, it's like, you can't even really, you can get to your house, but your neighborhood is completely different. The value, so it's just, you lost either way.
The only way that works out is if you really hated your neighbors.
Yeah.
You know, on both sides.
All of them.
Yeah, all of you guys can go to hell. This is my neighborhood now.
Yeah. So I finally got this whole block to myself. You know, it's muddy as shit. This is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
2018, that's when that mudslide was.
Yeah, damn.
Montecito, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with it. I wanted to, I forgot, I was going to ask you this before Ian, and then when we were talking about conspiracy theories and stuff, and then I forgot, but I wanted to bring up what you said on the phone with me the other day because it made me laugh so much. And then
I know, it might have been private, but go ahead.
No, it wasn't private. I said no. We'll see. He was like, Candice, I just got these test results back.
That sounds very private. That sounds very private.
Sounds private, yeah.
No, it's about conspiracy theorists, and you said, and I was like, you need to use that as a joke. He was like, yeah, I don't know why they just don't tell us the truth. Because what I'm gonna make up in my head is so much worse than what actually happened.
Oh yeah, about like who's like when somebody shoots like a president or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, they lie, and they capture one person and say this person did it, and it's like
when it's really the CIA.
You should just tell us, because what people make up is way worse. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it goes on forever. And then nobody's going to believe what you said. And what they believe is way worse than what you were trying to prevent them from believing. So just tell us. I don't know if you understand, if you're in politics, stop trying to control the narrative, because the narrative people are going to make up
it's way worse.
It's going to be so exaggerated. You'd be like, shit, we lost.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's a living thing too. It's just a fucking huge game
goes
telephone where it's like, I heard this. Yeah, but I heard this.
And that's how we end up with
and now that we got
the Earth being flat and reptilians.
Yeah. And chemtrails and everything.
Yeah. Chemtrails, bro. What?
Yeah. I don't even know what chemtrails is, so I can't even like say.
Me either. It just sounds.
You guys, you're coming to the conspiracy expert.
Oh, Candice is gonna fill us in.
So, yeah, no, actually, I'm not an expert on chemtrails, but people believe that those planes, when they have those trails that are flying behind them, are like just stuff that makes people like more like violent towards one another, and like there's just chemicals in there that poison us so that it keeps us sick, like heavy metals and stuff like that. So, which the heavy metal shit's not very far off at all. They put that shit in vaccines, so they could be doing that for sure, and I don't know, but it is weird. Like when you see like actual trails behind planes that are just regular planes, they don't last that long. Like they go away. And then you see the ones that are running and they're gone for like miles, and it's still dissipating in the air. You can see it, and it is different than.
Yeah, maybe it's just
planes.
the plane. Maybe it's just a plane owner.
Aren't we dumb enough?
Oil change in a while.
We're not dumb enough.
So we're just kicking out some bad exhaust.
You don't need to make us dumber. Yeah.
And I'm like, huh?
How much more dumber do they want to make us? You got the news. You got the fluoride in the water. You got whatever else you got. Like you got the educational system. Like, damn, how dumb?
Oh, and 5G.
Yeah, and 5G. Like,
how the internet?
How dumb do you? These motherfuckers are greedy. When they want to make you dumb, they're greedy.
Have you seen Idiocracy? I think that's the goal.
I just watched that last night. I got high and I watched Idiocracy.
I got high and watched it with Nat like a week ago.
Great movie.
It was the night. I think it was the night we had ramen with
you. Yeah.
Who's in Idiocracy? Why have I heard of it? I don't think I've seen it.
Luke Wilson,
Maya Rudolph, Dax Shepard.
And what is it about?
Terry Crews is in it.
Oh yeah, Terry. What happened to Terry Crews? And Justin Long's in it too. It's about basically a society that has just become dumber and dumber over the years, because basically the smart people stopped having kids because they were always too cautious. Like, oh, it's not the right time. We don't have enough money. We're not ready. And all the dumb people were just fucking all the time, which is not too far off from what happens in real life. And so dumb people overtook, and it got to a point where like just words, like even doctors, like Justin Long's character plays a doctor, and he's just like, yeah, man, you got this shit, man. What the fuck you want me to do about it?
It's a pretty funny movie.
So that's now.
Yeah, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's pretty on point with what's going on right now, and has been for years. Life imitates art, or is it art imitates life? I can't tell.
I know, it's like the chicken and the egg,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I wanted to ask. Oh wait, what?
No, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to ask Ian, because I had this question on for a few podcasts, but I never got to it. But I wanted to ask you what your porn consumption has it been affected in quarantine, or has it gone up or gone down?
Yeah, I question anybody who claims their porn consumption hasn't gone up. Yeah. I question the sanity of anybody whose porn consumption hasn't gone up during quarantine.
I bet Mal's hasn't.
I don't question people who say that it hasn't gone up. I question people that go, I've been watching less porn.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Unless a little bit more makes sense to me.
Right.
But do you watch porn, Mal?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. I mean, you have a fiance and a kid now. I'm like, who has the time,
That's exactly why I watch porn.
Yeah.
I was like, I make time.
Yeah, you make time. Yeah.
What do you think this is?
That's why parents don't get no sleep. Because you can't sleep when the kids, you watch porn while the kids are asleep.
That's frowned upon to watch it when the kid's awake. Like,
I
He's a real parent. He cares about his kid, bro.
I'm trying to be a good parent over here. I'm trying
He's
to
a
be a
good
good
parent.
dad.
Yeah. Jesus. How dare
What
you?
about you, Candice?
I watch porn. I've never been a porn watcher. Like I have watched porn
Uh-huh.
in the not really. Like I have watched like I would
What
say
do you masturbate to?
I don't need that to masturbate. Cause I usually just use my vibrator and I don't need anything with that because that gets the job done. I don't need to have imagination with that. But yeah, I just have never porn. If I did watch it when I was like younger, it was mainly
I watch porn with the person I'm having sex with. So how are you not having sex with a person and you don't need
That's
porn?
a flex from Ian Edwards on any dudes listening to this.
I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying, every guy's like every, you know, like if every guy's had sex and watched porn with someone they're having sex with, I feel like, and vice versa.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, you mean
Right.
watch? Yeah. I've done that. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I thought you meant you've had sex with a porn star. That's where I took it.
No.
No. I'm trying to remember if I've ever done that with a guy. Maybe. And if I did, I can't remember it. But yeah, porn has never been. And if I did watch porn when I was like younger, it was like just Skinamax. I prefer a softer
porn.
I like a story. I like a little bit of backstory.
The story is the porn for Candice.
Yeah, I'm like, well, what happened? How did he get here? I need to know that. Yeah. What was this pizza delivery guy doing before he started delivering pizzas? I need to know.
Did he pick up groceries before he delivered this pizza? I just need to know what kind of stores he was shopping at.
And what kind of toppings are on the pizza? I have.
How much thought did he put into this hole that he cut into this pizza?
Into the pizza box.
Yeah. Porn, it doesn't even porn.
Wonder how that pizza tastes. I wonder if that's a good pizza.
Yeah, did they save any of that pizza?
Yeah. Porn doesn't even like cross my mind.
Oh, for real?
Ever. Like, and you know, in quarantine, when we a lot of times, it doesn't even, like, it never crosses my mind.
What habit did you pick up, or what?
Besides my conspiracy
what took
theory?
up your time? Yeah.
I mean, that was most of it. Was rabbit holes.
That was your porn. Conspiracy theories is your porn.
Yeah.
That's what Candice gets off on. She waters her Bob Ross chia seed head, and she goes down rabbit holes of conspiracy.
I do. But you know what it is about me that I've learned, and I think I've always known this, but I found it like it's just confirmed it for me in quarantine, is that I'm a seeker. Like, I seek truth in everything all the time. I always just want to get to the bottom of like why did this happen and I can't, like, I just love truth. And most people don't. They live in fantasy land. So like and there's something I can't let stuff go. I like need answers. And I don't know if that's bad or good, but I need answers.
Could be both.
Here's the thing, Candice. There is no finish line on these answers. Just so you know.
You don't know that.
You don't know
that.
There's no finish line.
There might be on some of them. Not on all of them, but on some of them.
I remember I broke up with a girl once, and she wanted to meet for closure. It's like the breakup is closure.
That is closure.
What do you need to meet for?
Was that me? Did I do that?
No.
Yeah, this is not a apartment. This is not me renting an apartment where I need to sign final papers and say this apartment is a relationship, girl. We just decided we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
Closure is for young people. When you get older, you're like, this is what?
Yeah.
We already did this. We already did this. I have shit to do.
Yeah.
Move on. You literally have all your answers. I broke up with you.
If it's working out, it's working out. If the person wants to end it,
That's it. Okay, so just tell us who it was and we'll move on.
I don't, you don't know him. You don't know him. You don't know him. It's hilarious.
Yeah, the older you get, people don't.
People think it'll make them feel better.
Yeah. when you're younger, you're like, well, let's just talk this, just what happened. And then the older you get, you're just like, on the first date, you're like, this isn't going to work, huh? You're like, no. Okay. Never see you again, hopefully. Bye.
And I'm fine with that. I remember when I was younger, I used to always have to have like that. I remember specifically there was one guy that I was seeing when I was in my early 20s, and we hadn't even seen each other very long at all. We maybe even dated.
Was it me?
No, that was in my later 20s when I dated.
Okay.
This was back in Cincinnati. I hadn't even moved to LA yet. And I met a white guy. This is the only white guy I've ever dated in like my adult life. And we didn't even date because we dated, but we weren't together as a couple, and we hadn't even had sex. Like we had just like hung out a few times, but he made it seem so like intense that I was like, oh, this guy's serious. But then I found out he's a pathological liar, and he had a living girlfriend the whole entire time. But again, it was like for only 3 weeks. So it was like, whatever. I wasn't that.
Well, that's what. That also explains why he was so serious. He's trying to fucking remember his story.
Trying to get it fast, and then get out so he don't get caught
before his girlfriend comes home.
Candice is like, whoa, this is a lot of energy coming my way.
Like, cause I got to seal this deal in 15 minutes.
He had a limited amount of time to woo you.
This is going
he's got
good,
a girlfriend.
Right?
He can't like steal. Yeah.
And he did
spend all this time with you. Yeah.
He did woo me. I believed everything that he was saying, because this was back when I like attract narcissists. There's something about I think it's because I'm an empath, but they just come to me. And now that I'm aware of it, I know the signs. I can swat them away. But when I was younger, I didn't know. And this guy was just saying everything, all the right things. I was like, oh my God, this guy is serious. But then anyway, so the reason why I brought this up is because when we ended it, because I found out that he had a living girlfriend, I was like, oh, he needs to know everything that's on my mind right now. And I hand wrote a letter.
Oh no.
And he lived in Kentucky. I lived in Cincinnati, and the way we met was because
he lived in Covington?
He lived in Louisville.
Oh, okay.
In Louisville. I had a job. I worked at a LASIK eye place when I lived in Cincinnati. And on Wednesdays, I had to drive down to an eyeglass world that was in Louisville, Kentucky. Every Wednesday, I commuted back and forth to do consultations with people who wanted to have LASIK surgery with our doctor that was located in Cincinnati. And so that's where I met this guy. He was a brother to one of the chicks that worked in that Louisville eyeglass world. And so, it was like immediate connection, which I now have found out. What?
No, you were perfect for him. You out of town.
Out of town. Yeah. That's why he latched on. He was like, she will never know. Yeah.
They will never run into each other.
Yeah, no. It was, He was like,
my
she's only
Kentucky
here.
Girl's a Kentucky girl. She's not leaving.
Yeah.
It's true. He was like, she's only going to be here on Wednesdays? And it was one of those things where it was immediate attraction, which I now learn is bad. Like anytime you have an immediate, it's usually something else that's going on. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta call someone. Yeah, it's over. I heard it's bad. Bye.
Sorry, I like you initially.
No closure. That was the closure.
That dial tone is the closure.
Yeah.
That whenever you meet somebody and it's like tingles and butterflies, that's always bad. I had to learn that the hard way. But
For real?
Yeah, when you meet somebody that's like a good person for you, a good match, that your energy should remain the same. It should feel like you're with a best friend or something like that. Like you should have that same. But if you feel, and you're just like, ooh, you could be physically attracted to them, but know that physical attraction does not make for a like romantic relationship long term.
I know that.
Yeah, but it could just be like you're attracted to them sexually, but that usually is always wrong. Anyway, so when I found out that he had a living girlfriend, I was like, I can't believe he did this to me. I just wrote a whole long Dear John letter that was probably like 3 pages long, and then I drove to Louisville, slipped it under his door.
You drove to his house?
Lives?
Yeah, I mean, on a day that I had already had to go to Louisville. I didn't just go drive to Louisville. I think that was a different day when I did that.
You dropped it under his living girlfriend's door?
Oh, yeah. I don't know who was home at the time, but yeah,
Right.
I slid it under the door and was like, I was like, this motherfucker needs to know about himself. And yeah, who knows what happened after that? I never talked to him.
He never called you?
Not after that, no. No.
I wonder who found that letter.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I have no idea.
You don't want to call and be like, did you get my letter? Did you get my letter?
That wouldn't have been overkill.
I mean, you would have at least known who read it. Hey, did you get any interesting mail this week?
You know what? We can call him right now on the pod. Let's call him on the podcast. Let's call him up.
We'll call him.
I don't even remember. I think his name was Kevin. I don't remember. But yeah, and I haven't dated a white guy since. Look what you done did. Look what you done did.
Kevin fucked it up for all the whites.
I think that was the last time I went. No, I'm trying to. No, I've always, in my 20s, I for sure was, even in my early 30s, I was like, no, I need to know. Tell me more. Why? As opposed to just being like, they walked away, accept it. Like,
oh, well, yeah.
Know all you need to know. But that just comes with getting older. And you're just like, oh, like, their words don't matter at this point. Like, their actions have shown you everything you need to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I learned, yeah. I mean, and then for you writing the letter and dropping it off was your closure. That's all you needed to do.
It was.
You didn't, yeah.
They even say sometimes just writing it down. I probably could have just written it down and not even given it to him, and I probably would have gotten that same closure. But it still felt good knowing that his girlfriend could see it, and I was just
might get it.
That was some of that petty was bubbling up, and you're like, I'm over this now completely. But I would like to inflict a little something on the way out.
Candice Thompson. But also, a part of me was like, if she sees this, then like, that's the universe telling her, like she needs to know about this trash ass dude that she's dealing with, who's hollering at who knows who every day. So I did feel good about that. But I've never done anything crazy though for a dude. Like, I'm not one of those chicks that's ever like slashed tires. I've never stood outside a guy's house and like waited for him to come home. I've never done.
So you never been in love, huh?
Correct.
So okay. So you never really that involved. Okay.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't think that's it. I have been in love before. I just am not. You guys know I grew up in the
Mal, have you done anything crazy?
House.
No.
Yeah.
No.
The craziest thing Mel does is watch porn.
I have low self-esteem, Ian. I always assume it's my fault. I'm like, I was wrong. She's better off. I'm trash. And then I go
She found out she could do better. God bless her.
Then I go into my deep, dark depression.
Yeah. You slide a note under a door. Or, damn, I'm glad you found out that you could do better. Peace.
And then I write myself a letter and slide it under my own door. I'm like, you're trash. Oh.
Sealed it too. Why did you seal it?
You mailed it. He mailed it too.
With a stamp. You wasted a stamp? Telling
Went
yourself
to the post office, dropped it off. Been waiting outside asking the mailman every day anything come for him.
Have you seen anything from me to me? Have you seen a letter?
What's the craziest thing a girl's ever done to you, Ian? Like lie on you, hurt you physically, thrown something at you.
Yeah, I've had that.
You've had someone throw something at you?
Yeah. One time when I was living in New York and was doing comedy, and I was dating this girl, and we broke up. Right? We broke up, but before we broke up, I was doing the Edinburgh Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to be there for like a month. So before we broke up, she was going to come and visit the last week of the festival. So we broke up, but we decided that she's going to come visit the last week of the festival anyway.
Yes.
Because she already bought the ticket.
No, she just, it wasn't even that. It's like, I don't know if she had, when she bought the ticket, but she still wanted to, like, we're cordial. We still messed around.
Yeah.
So she's like, she'll just come to Edinburgh anyway, just to see it. And then we're going to have a good time, even though we broke up. We talk. But when, I'm in Edinburgh and I'm technically, and I'm single. So there's this one girl that I've been hanging out with, So, but we never did anything, but we definitely liked each other. So, and she was the only black girl in Scotland.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So.
In the whole entire country?
In the whole entire country. Yeah. So then she came to the black girl, I forgot her name. She came to a show, and then I was on a show called Stand Up Black America. So then she hung out with all the 3 black comics from America, and she'd come to the show, and she would also bring her boyfriend to the show, and she came over to the house for dinner. But we liked each other. We just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So then the last week of the festival, my ex came, and then when she met the girl, because the girl's just been a friend of all the, we don't know anybody in town, so somebody's friendly, we're all friends. So then she met the girl, and she could tell that I liked the girl, but she didn't know if we'd done anything. So one day she just got angry, and she's like, "You been fucking this girl?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Tell me." I was like, "Nah." Then she threw like a legit, see how this is thick? Like an ashtray made out of this at me. Yeah.
And did it hit you?
Nah, I missed. And then, and then, like, even my manager was like, "Hey, you got to break up with that girl." Because she'd be around. Because he can tell the difference in the energy of the first 3 weeks of me being at the festival to when she got to, you know what I mean? So then the last night that she was in town, every night they'd be like an after party in town, right? So we went to the after party, and she was just being miserable or whatever. And then when we got outside, she started like a physical fight, but she's grabbing, I had dreadlocks at the time, she was grabbing my locks and pulling them. So I just held her, I didn't hit her, right?
Oh my God.
And then she was screaming to the people around us, "Call the police, call the police."
Oh my God.
Was this a black
chick?
chick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's Jamaican too.
Because you would have got shot.
So then,
this was a white chick you're talking about. I think you wouldn't be here today.
It's like, looked like, it's like an altercation in public, but I definitely didn't hit her. She's pulling my, she's fighting like a girl, pulling my hair. So I just held her so she couldn't punch me and shit.
Yeah.
So then the police came and was like, "Just go home," So then we go back to the house, and then she apologizes, and she's like, "I'm just upset because I just came on the trip and I know we broke up, but this was like," she just came. I said, "Why did you even come?" She said, "I just wanted this to be like our goodbye trip." You know what I mean? And so I kind of got that. And then I'm like, "You pulled out my hair. I got like 3 locks in my hair."
Locks in your
Yeah, that I'll no longer, like, locks are supposed to be in your head, not in your head. You know what I mean? They're no longer, she pulled those out. That's how hard she was pulling. Then
is that why you're bald now?
Then, yeah, exactly. That started it. That started it. And then she had bought me this jewelry, some jewelry, like a ring, a chain, and a bracelet. And we realized that the bracelet is missing. And we're like, shit, it must have fell out when, you were like grabbing me. So then in the middle of the night, we had to walk back into town.
Oh no.
It's like 5 in the morning. And then she has to catch like a bus at like 8 in the morning. to go to the airport.
Yeah.
We go back to the part where the scuffle took place, and we did find it.
They only knew that was a spot because they
Yeah,
found 2 or 3 more locks on the ground.
Dreads on the
locks.
ground.
Yeah. We followed the breadcrumbs of locks. So then,
Thank God for Bumble Clock forensics. They found.
For Bumble Clock forensics. Hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, then we lay down for went back to home, lay down for an hour, and then
left. She left.
Took her to the airport on the bus.
Did you talk to her again after that? Oh no, he froze.
To be fair to Ian in this story, she could have let him know that, hey, I want this to be our goodbye trip, and then it would have been different.
For sure.
You can't in your mind go in and be like, this is our goodbye trip, and have this romantic idea of whatever that is, and then be upset when nobody else knows about this fucking thing you're living.
Women are the queens of thinking. Yeah. Women, we're the queens of you're in my, my thoughts. Like I'm angry and you're supposed to know why. Like you do that all the time. Like, it's not healthy. But if that whole thing could have been resolved, yes.
This was supposed to be a goodbye trip.
Which is a huge contradiction, because women are like, every woman I've gotten to being in a relationship, you don't communicate. Yeah. You need to communicate. And then they're the ones that don't communicate.
Yeah. Well,
because they expect you to
do as I say, not as I do.
I do. And it's always on our terms. Our communication is on our terms.
Yeah.
It's,
apparently
we make up the rules, and we can be quiet when we want to be quiet, but you can't be quiet when you want to be quiet. We need you to talk when I want you to talk. Yeah.
Right.
It's complicated. It's complicated, guys.
Hilarious.
And Mal, we have to wrap this up pretty soon, like the next 5 minutes, but you've never had anything ridiculous like that happen to you, have you?
No, all of my breakups have been amicable splits. It's like, hey, this isn't working out, right? Yeah. But we're still cool. Like I can interact with any of my exes just fine.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
You need to grow up and get into a fight, man. Be mature, bro. The funny thing about this story is, like, she had a son, right? And me and him still talk to this day. Like,
Ian's like, and he's fine.
He's even come to LA and stayed at my place a few times.
Oh wow!
Really?
Like, he's a grown dude now, but he was like a kid when I was dating her.
Yeah.
Like back before I moved to LA.
Yeah.
He's like, she should have told you that it was a goodbye trip, but we're cool.
Yeah.
Mal, all I had to say is I wouldn't take relationship advice from someone who has domestic violence charges in Scotland. All right.
That's the thing. The police were there, and they could tell clearly I didn't do anything. So they just like sent it home. Yeah, but that's weird. Like, to have like the police being called on you for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
And so I'm just glad I just had my control.
Ian's just glad that he had an encounter with police outside of America, because that could have gone a completely different way.
Yeah.
In country.
That too.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what they do in other countries?
I think they deal with a lot of drunk people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was just.
But not a lot of
Saturday
drunk black people.
Yeah.
That's my only concern. And you said you were the only other black person in Scotland, so who knows what would have happened. And wait, who called the cops? Just people, or she did?
I think people did, because she yelled it. She was just trying to. She was like, I feel like she felt I must have slept with the girl, and she's doing anything to ruin it for me.
Yeah.
Including like getting into a fight in public. And he said, call the police. It's like, everybody's looking at it. Oh, yeah.
Jealousy.
That's not the only time she tried to fight me. That's not the only time she tried. That's not the only time she tried to fight me either.
Yeah, we did the math on that, Ian. The kind of
Yeah.
you don't travel internationally to get into your first fight. I'm gonna get a stamp in my passport and my first fight on this trip.
We'll have to.
These are not my plans. Yeah, these are not my plans. Yeah.
We'll have to have you finish the other fights on another episode.
Also,
but they weren't fights. She just tried to fight me. You know what I mean?
Why was she so violent? And why did you continue to date somebody that was so violent?
I'm gonna be stereotypical and say sometimes Jamaican people have tempers.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And why would you fight someone? Why would you continue to date someone with a temper?
Because it's hot.
Because the vagina is really good.
Because it's hot. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about roommates, Candice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hilarious.
That's what we teased on the last. We're like, oh, we'll get Ian on next week and we could talk about roommates some more.
Oh, yeah.
On the last episode, Ian, we were just talking about how much we love roommates.
Oh, thank you.
Those sketches are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Carlene, I would catch Carlene just laughing at her phone. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you watching? She's like, have you seen the new roommates? I'm like, okay. Chill out.
Like it's an NBC show.
Yeah, just waiting on the next episode.
Good, I like that. COVID had messed it up because I don't want to, listen, I don't believe, like, I'm not worried about COVID as much as I used to be. I'm like, but I still don't want, you shoot it at my house. We shoot it at my place. I don't want to be responsible
Right.
for anybody getting sick. I don't got no lawsuit money.
Yeah.
So for now, just in case, can't shoot it right now.
I'm like, what kind of friend is Paul if he would sue you for giving him COVID?
But what about the camera guy? You know,
you did,
or the other people in there.
For sure.
I don't have we don't have no budget to like have a COVID,
No, I know, but I'm just
rapid
saying.
testing on site.
For my Instagram page.
You can do it in a way where you just film on your tripod on both your phones. Maybe you can get an extra phone, have 3 of them set up, catch it from 3 different angles.
No, we had the real cameras.
Well, yeah, we'll do it that way. You don't need a person filming it.
Yeah, we do. We did some episodes when COVID just started. Based on COVID with our cell phones, so it was acceptable. But now that you can't continue to do that kind of,
Yeah, you don't want where the production value is here. You don't want it to go any lower than that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Because we've been shooting with taking all the precautions. Like we're taking tests. It's a lot. We take tests like twice a week. Mm-hmm. And we don't go in every day. Like this week, I was only in 2 days, and then I was the only writer that was in like for 2 days because we shot one day, and then we were in the writers' room one day. But if you aren't needed, they don't have you come in, and so we test, and they have those. They give us a serious mask. They're not like.
Oh damn.
So I don't know if you guys have seen, like there was a new study, like the Danish study that said basically the masks, they're not doing anything, which is what I assumed, especially those ones that are like handkerchiefs that people are putting, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But they don't really do anything. But the we wear the N95 ones, like the serious ones that like are so tight to your face, like they pull your ears forward. They hurt. Like every day
like
I leave
a facelift.
Yeah, it's bad. Every day I leave work, I have a massive headache and it's not good. Yeah, but I gotta make this money, so. So who cares if I'm killing some brain cells because I'm not getting enough oxygen? But anyway. Oh, Ian, this was so fun.
Speak for yourself, Candice. Speak for yourself.
I know you have more soccer to watch, you asshole. Every time I text, I was like, Ian, can you podcast? When do you do it? Saturday? Nah, soccer. I'm like, all day? The whole day?
Yeah, because I'm watching it for my podcast.
Oh,
and it's taking place on the other side of the world.
It's outside the world at a different time.
Yeah, but you can record it.
Nah, then people ruin it for you. Because there's some people that will listen to the podcast or text you, or if you can't resist being on your phone. It just ends up in your hand, and you're looking at Twitter, and
then
there's a
some
score or
asshole.
something.
Yeah.
So.
Well, know that I just remember when Ian and I were dating that I felt like soccer was on every day. Like I was like, is this the only season or sport that doesn't have an off season? Like it was on. I remember being like, how is it still? It was there during the winter, the spring,
Didn't we just watch a championship game?
There's so much of it that I was like, I don't understand how this is possible and how you're not tired of it. Yeah, there's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it.
But anyway, that's why you have a podcast about it, because there's so much to talk about. Have me on it next time, and we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah, because I know you know so much. You learned so much from it. Why is your chair the same color of Mal's wall?
Mal's wall? It is pink. It's like a Pepto-Bismol pink.
Yeah, there you go.
We should switch chairs.
Yeah.
Just so the audience could be like, is Mal hovering?
Yep, he's reptilian, guys. You have no idea all of the stuff he can do. All right, guys, this has been fantastic. Thank you for being with me today. And thank you to all my listeners, watchers. Again, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, make sure you do that. We're on all podcast platforms. Posting on my personal YouTube page as well now, the videos to watch and subscribe there. Rate and review us on iTunes. And if you haven't told someone about the struggle, make sure you do that. I'm Jokes by Candice on my social media. Mal, one more time, where can people find you?
You can find me on my OnlyFans site, onlyfans.com/Mal Hall. And I basically watch porn on there, and you pay to watch me watch porn.
Your porn reaction?
Yeah, reaction tape.
Which is your
porn reaction, which is jerking off.
This is my immediate reaction.
Same reaction for every video. It's just this.
Even if it ain't porn.
malhall.com. Everything is there. Ian, where can people find you?
At Ian Edwards Comic on Twitter and at Ian Edwards Comic on Instagram.
Perfect. Thanks again, guys. And Ian, we're going to have you back on again, and we can finish hearing more about your girlfriend fights.
Hilarious. Yeah, why not? World's ending, why not?
Yeah.
Till next time.
All right, bye.